the amount of time that I've had this saved is astronomical. I grew up as a metalhead, and I've said this many times on my channel. This is not anything new. And we always talk about the big four, Metallica and Anthrax and Megadeth and Slayer. There is a different big four, though. The new metal one, Korn and Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and also Slipknot. And when it came to my attention that Taemin covered Korn, you know I had to check this out. This is insane. I can't believe this. Let's check it out. Oh, yes. Shut up! Go get 'em! Wow.
Everybody, are you ready? Are you ready? Everybody scream! Times are working with this thing, holding on to everything. It's hard to draw the line. I'm hiding in this empty space, tortured by my memories of what I left behind.
He's a pretty good screamer. Oh my goodness. Look, this is a little bit more in my wheelhouse, so I feel like I can talk about this a little bit better in some ways. The funny thing is, when it comes to Korn and the whole overall feeling of his voice, I always thought his voice was cool, but I also kind of thought his voice was a little like unserious for a lot of times, because he was just like had this like kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? It's really interesting to hear Jonathan Davis sing, because he's just like, coming to get my, like, it's really just strange. And so hearing Taemin, of all people, is extremely wild, because honestly, like, Taemin has a really, really cool voice. So we have to kind of not worry about hearing some really silly Jonathan Davis vocals. Although I do like Jonathan Davis. I was really worried if he was going to be able to actually get the intensity. That's one thing because that kind of metal can get really intense and it can get really harsh on your vocals if you don't know what you're doing. And I feel like that the fact that he came in full guns ablazing, that's a solid cover there. It really is. I was not expecting this. When did Taemin decide to start covering new metal? I mean, obviously he's very young here. He's very young looking. I like how he did like a special choreography for it. That's cool. I like that. Wow. Again, this is probably the last thing that I would have expected. It's kind of especially from Taemin in a lot of ways. I feel like that anyone from SHINee would not be doing this kind of music, but I mean, I guess it was just a different time period. And, the interesting thing is like, I feel like that if anybody chooses to cover anything from Korn, they usually go for the more well-known stuff. Like, I'm not saying Get Up isn't well-known, but I feel like that, people go for like, I especially think of the song Coming Undone is really big. Falling Away From Me could be also one that I could see a lot of people wanting to cover as well. Maybe even like Here to Stay, or if somebody was getting like a little bit more on the creative side or, whatever, maybe even Twisted Transistor. But Get Up is kind of a deep pick. I kind of like the fact that he did that. It's kind of shows you that he's probably a little bit more of a deeper fan than maybe was initially thought. So again, I'm trying to kind of go back to doing these covers now that we're out of 1 week club, and also this week we will be revisiting Extraordinary Heroes as well, so expect that as well. But SHINee's Taemin covering Korn, that is insane. Anyway, what a crazy cover. What a crazy cover. Let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. And dulce pare kilum.